Dear students, scholars, teachers, and friends from various parts of the country who are attending this program, good afternoon. PG Department of English, Baithul Izza Arts and Science College, Narikuni, Calicut, has been arranging a series of invited talks on topics connected with the English language and literature for the PG and UG students from the various parts of the country. Today, we have with us Dr. Abubakar Kapad, Principal, Calicut University Center, Kadamat Island. Dr. Abubakar Kapad is a very famous Malayalam writer and translator, and he is presenting before us a topic, Rhythms of Rural Life in the Novels of Vikom Mohmmed Basheer. As a writer, Dr. Abubakar has published a number of short stories, novels, translations, and novellas in Malayalam language and literature. Some of the famous works are Nossu, അവസാനത്തെ അന്ത്യശാസനം, നല്ലതും വടക്കും, ഉടുത്താലും ഉടുത്തില്ലെങ്കിലും, ഇമ്മിണി വലിയ ഒരു ഇന്ത്യ, etc. He has received Tanima Award for the famous work Chollum Chelum, and again Karu Memorial Novel Award for Kannikkarayile Visheshangal, KTTF Award for ചില അകക്കാഴ്ചകൾ, and some other awards for the ജ്ഞാനത്തിൻ്റെ ഭവനം, മൂടിവെക്കപ്പെട്ട സത്യങ്ങൾ, etc. He has also received Professor T. Abdullah Sahib Memorial Award. Dr. Abubakar Kapad has more than 30 years service as an English teacher in various colleges. He started his service in PSMO College, Tirurangadi. Later, he was a teacher of English in Government College Malappuram, Government College Perambra, Government College Koilandi, etc. before joining in the Calicut University Center, Kadamat Island. Now he is serving as a research guide in Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore. So I invite you, sir, to present your topic as the talk number 3, arranged by the Department of English, Baithul Izza Arts and Science College, Narikuni. Thank you.
Good morning, my invisible young friends. Now, I'm going to give a talk on the rhythms of rural life in the novels of Vikom Mohmmed Basheer. You know that in spite of the hectic activities on the line of urbanization, Kerala can still be considered a huge cluster of villages. Most of our prominent writers like Basheer, Tagari Shivashankara Pillai, M.T. Vasudevan Nair, O.V. Vishayan, and M. Mukundan were born and brought up in villages. They have a rural background. And naturally, a major share of their works deal with rural life and rustic characters. Basheer was born at the village called Taleolaparambu in Vikom. So, most of his works, as I mentioned just now, most of his works deal with rural life, and his dealing of village life has got, or his portrayal of village life has got a touch of authenticity. In most of his novels, we can find charming and realistic depictions of village life. Till recent times, family ties had been very strong in our villages, in the villages of Kerala. Jumbo families or joint families had been a common sight here in Kerala. And Basheer's novel, Fatima's God, is entirely devoted to the portrayal of such a joint family. Actually, it is the story of his own family. And in the very beginning of that novel, he makes a commentary on the overcrowded state of his house. Let's go through his words. My house is just a small building with a thatched roof. Who are all those who live in it? There is my mother, then my next younger brother Abdul Khader, his wife Kunjanumma, their darling daughter Patukutti, Arifa and Subeda. The next brother after Abdul Khader, namely Muhammad Hanifa, his wife Aishoma, and their darling children Habib Muhammad and Laila and Muhammad Rashid. Hanifa's younger sister Anuma, her husband Sulaiman, their darling child Sayyid Muhammad, and lastly my youngest brother Abu Bakr. The author has one more sister, Fatuma, and she lives in a separate house with her husband Kuchuni and their only daughter Khadija. And Fatuma has got a god. She possesses a god. And we can say that this Fatuma's god is the titular heroine of the novel. In a sense, this god is the heroine of the novel. Actually, Fatuma's God can be considered an anti-novel. In an anti-novel, there is no hero and heroine. And similarly, there is no particular beginning. It can begin anywhere. Such a novel can begin with any incident mentioned in the novel. Another anti-novel written by Basheer is Shabdangal. Okay. So, Kuchunni is Fatuma spends most of the daytime in her mother's. After sending her husband off to his trading, Fatuma washes off washes all the pots and pans, stands them upside down to dry, and then comes straight to the mother's house with her daughter Khadija. But before that, she sends the goat to her mother's house so that it can fill its stomach by eating jack leaves and drinking kanji water available there. So with so many men, women and children living under the same roof, living together, huddled together under the same roof, actually there occur quarrels. And here also quarrels occur. In Basheer's house also quarrels is something frequent. The chief cause of quarrel among the women in the house is Fatima's goat. The goat eats everything, including the author's books, bananas kept for him, food materials or food items kept for the children and women in the house. And whenever somebody makes a complaint against the troubles caused by the goat, Fatima will become angry. And invariably there follows a quarrel. One day, the author himself catches the goat red-handed while eating the bananas kept for him. He calls his sisters Fatima and Anuma to witness the goat's deed, to witness the goat eating the banana. Then Fatima defends the goat, saying, it's because it's hungry. He eats the banana because it is hungry. Then Anuma crosses Fatima's statement. Anuma says, no matter what it eats, it's always hungry. It will still be hungry. It steals my God's grass and eats it. On hearing this, Fatima gets angry and snaps Anuma. That's enough. That's enough of that. Your God's grass. Your God's grass. So she doesn't like Anuma accusing her God of committing theft, stealing grass. So she snaps her sister Anuma. So this way, such quarrels occur repeatedly between the women folk in the house. But quarrels occur among men also, the brothers also. One day, while Basheer, the author, returns home from an outing, he finds, now Basheer's own words again, Abdul Qadir and Hanifa were there quarreling. The cause of the quarrel was nothing in particular. Abdul Qadir had come to know that Hanifa gave nothing towards the cost of food the previous day. But Hanifa did not like Abdul Qadir's accusing him of not having given any money to their mother for meeting the expenses of the house. Abu Bakr Hanifa gets angry. So he says, we are not living here, we are leaving this house. Though Hanifa repeats this threat of leaving the house with his wife and children quite often, he never ventures to do so. It's only a threat. He never puts it into practice. He never leaves the house. Similarly, the petty quarrels in the house never lead to a crisis and a breakup of the family, breakup of the household. Threats like the one made by Hanifa that can be heard there repeatedly. I'm leaving this house and so on. But they remain just threats. They are just words uttered when they are angry. They never seriously think about leaving the house. Or they never think about a breakup of their household. Why? Because underneath the periphery of quarrels and heated exchange of words, the members of the house, members of that family, are strongly linked together with a pure and artless sense of oneness. At the bottom of their heart, they always feel that they are one. So they can never think about getting separated, leaving the house, or think about a breakup of the household. In other words, as Dr. R.A. Asher has put it, each and every member of this huge joint family loves each other strongly. But this affection is far removed from sentimentality. More usually sentimentality, and is not expressed directly in words. Their affection is far removed from sentimentality and is not expressed directly in words. Indeed, it is more usually expressed in a negative way through the regular petty quarrels or the small jealousies, all of which somehow serve to strengthen the bond of oneness, or the bonds that bind them together, that bind each and every member of the family together. In other words, it can be called a negative way of expressing their love. The quarrels are a negative way of expressing their affection. And it's a truth that wherever there is affection, there is quarrels. Or quarrels occur only among people who love each other. Then another aspect of rural life. Another aspect of the life that we find in Basheer's family, Basheer's house, is that not only his mother but his brothers also, brothers and sisters also demand money from Bashir. His mother demands money, but not just his mother, but brothers and sisters also demand money and sometimes other things also from him. Whenever a money order comes for the author, then the brothers and sisters will know it, especially the brothers, because they have asked Kuttanbulla is the postman, to tell them, to make them know when a money order has come. And see, as Bashir is a writer, he gets money orders frequently. They know that. That is why they have asked Kuttanbulla to let them know of the arrival of money orders. And the moment the money is handed to Bashir, handed to the author by Kuttanbulla, they all just grabbed it and left me with nothing. These are the words of Bashir. They all just grabbed it and left me with nothing. In addition to money, the author gives them so many things as their demand. Again, we have the words of Bashir. I gave them money. I bought pots and pans for them. I bought tumblers. I bought headcloths for the women to wear. But on seeing his brothers and sisters demanding money and other things from him, naturally we may think that it is a kind of it is exploitation. They are exploiting Bashir. No. Anyway, one cannot say that Bashir's relatives are exploiting him, because they have every right and reason to ask for whatever they want from him. First of all, he is the eldest male member of the family. That means he is almost equal to their father. Their father is no more. So being the eldest male member of the family, he is now equal to their father. He is the head of the family. He is the eldest member of the family, male member of the family. And he is blessed with frequent arrival of money orders. He gets money orders frequently. Besides, as his mother puts it, he is just a single person with only one stomach to think of. In the novel it is said, Vattan Dadiyum Uchchan Vayarum. You have only one stomach to think of. You are a single person with only one stomach to think of. So Bashir was unmarried at that time. His brothers and sisters had got married, but he was unmarried. So that is why his mother says, you are only a single person with only one stomach to think of. So they have, as I mentioned just now, they have every reason and they have every right to demand money and other things from him. Moreover, for Bashir, he gets money orders frequently, and he is a bachelor. He has only his stomach to look after, to think of. His stomach to think of. But that is not the case with his brothers and sisters. On the other hand, his brothers are all married and have 2 or 3 children. And none of them have a steady and sufficient income. So that is why I told you that they had every right to demand money from him. It is to be specially noted that none of them seems to have the least hesitation in asking money from him, money or other things from him. They does not feel any kind of hesitation in asking money and other things from him. They simply feel that they are taking money from their own pockets, as if they were taking money from their own pockets. They think that it is theirs. It is their big brothers, and their big brother is their equal to their father. So they have every right to ask money from him. That is how they look at the things here. Moreover, all of them are keen on supplying Basheer with whatever he requests. So note that it's not a one-sided affair, one-sided deal. If they ask money from him, take money from him, they do something in return. They are keen on supplying him whatever he requires. They all know that he has come to stay at home as a man failing in health. They are well aware of the fact that he should be provided with nutritious food items too. So, the male members bring for him his brothers and brothers-in-law. His brothers and brothers-in-law bring for him tomatoes, pineapples, sweets, and several varieties of banana. It was only the sweets that that is Basheer, paid good money for. They were useful for stopping the children's crying. The rest of the items my brothers and Kochunni and Suleiman are Basheer's brothers-in-law. My brothers and brothers-in-law brought for me. So they are much concerned about him. They provide him with whatever that he requires. So it's actually a mutual deal. Not a one-sided affair, not an exploitation. But a mutual deal, give and take. Okay. And the author cannot refute his brother Abdul Qadir's assertion. Once Basheer talks about leaving the house or so, his brother Abdul Qadir asked him, "Don't you have everything you need here? You have oil, ghee, milk, tea, beedies, matches, bananas, tomatoes, pineapples, plantains, jackfruits, meals, and Umma, me, Abu, and Kochunni as company. So why should you go from this house? Why can't you stay here?" That's what his brother asked. The author admits that he is given special consideration. He admits that. He says, "In my house, however, no one uses milk. I take ghee and milk, but mine is a special case." In short, what you see here is a give and take, as I mentioned just now, between siblings. A give and take between siblings. And through this give and take, Basheer's brothers and sisters express their eagerness to establish the fact that He is theirs and they are His. So it's a give and take, and through this give and take, they show their eagerness to show that, to establish that He is theirs and they are His. So there's no question of exploitation here. A similar sense of brotherhood and unity was seen among the people in general in our villages. Not just among the members of a single family, but among the people in general. People belonging to different families. Among the villages as a whole. The same sense of brotherhood and unity